Well, Tessa, let's take you to Algeria today. People posting from there on Snapchat. We know this is a very rare sign of mass protest. It's rare for Algeria to see the scale and the consistency. Many students driving this. Let's take you into Sétif and onto the campus there. We can see here students from this afternoon braving the midday heat as they, midday sun as they were, to stand and protest, demanding that the president renounce this attempt at a fifth term. This after a weekend of protests. You can see here, this filmed on a Snapchat, people posting this directly from that location, so we can be sure it's coming from people there on the ground. You can see also the size of these crowds too, and the time of the day, middle of the day there. And that was in one city. We know this has been protests right the way across Algeria. Let's take you to Algiers yesterday. Look at the size of this crowd at the Technology College just outside Algiers itself. It's a slightly blurry video, but the scale of the students you can see there, it gives you an idea. Then we can take you to central Algiers and the University of Algiers. Look at this. This is the news camera picture showing you students barricaded in by riot police on the campus. And this, a post on Instagram from students on the other side of those gates, demanding things change. Now, let's just show you the kind of posts we're talking about, the kind of hashtags driving this movement. This is one here, no to a fifth mandate, and its equivalent in Arabic, being perhaps two of the most common tweets that Shauna, Emmanuel, and my team here in TheCube have been seeing as this movement continues to grow. Now, we know, of course, that the president has written a letter. He's written a letter acknowledging what has now been roughly 10 days of protests. And in this letter, he directly references the young people. He says, let's bring it up for you here. If I can just bring this up. It was read aloud in Arabic on state television, so we have not seen from the president himself. But this is what he said. I have carefully heard the cries of the protesters, especially those of our youth, who have addressed me about the fate of our nation. The letter goes on to say, fine, I'm not going to stand for a full term. If I'm elected, I'll stand down, his advisors say, within a year, and there will be another election which he will not contest. So, obviously, we in TheCube asking the students who we've been talking to, Shauna talking to many who were nervous actually about putting their name or face on their comments. We asked them, does this make any difference? Are you likely to take this letter and stop protesting? Well, have a look at this. This is what one student, a 20-year-old, told us. Bouteflika's letter only made matters worse. It's revealed the government's intentions of continuing the corruption instead of putting an end to it, in the words of that 20-year-old student. So, Tessa, the protests continue today. Students telling us they are not going back until the president renounces this attempt at a fifth mandate.